Here's why you're not getting shredded, and this is where I was too. When I wasn't following a program, I was following like YouTube influencers, workouts, day to day. Every time I worked out, I would look up something or I'd put something together on my phone real quick, and then each week it would be a lot different. If this is you, if you're doing this right now, you're missing out on a lot of gains, and then not only that, you're wasting your time right now, and I don't want to do that. This is something I wish I would have known when I first started training. And the minute I started training like this 6 years ago, my physique started changing even more. And I'm natural right now. And before we can get into the video, because we're going to talk about the problems that I faced and how I've overcame them and what I'm doing currently and seeing progress as a natural lifter, I want you to know that I've been doing this for 7 years now as a strength coach, personal trainer. Now I'm trying to build my business online. If you're new to the channel, if not, I'm Nick Andrade, and this is what I do. I'm not going to give you a bunch of shit that does not help you. I'm going to make sure that you walk away from this video with something, and you're going to be able to utilize it right away. There's could be little things that you're not even doing, and I'm telling you, you take away the things that I'm about to talk to you about, it's going to change the way you train. And 100%, you don't need to be training 5-6 days a week. I got to this training 4 days a week. Look at this. This is under 12 weeks. I wish I had 16-week prep here or 18-week. I would have got a lot leaner, but this is where I got in 12 weeks just with the style of training that I do. And I want to show you and tell you that there's many different ways to getting jacked, to getting abs, to getting shredded based on how we set up your training. And that's what we're going to talk about, and how you could be more efficient with your training. I wish this light right here would show up better on this camera. I bet you if I messed around with the quality, it would show up. It's supposed to be saying hustle, so I'll have to figure that out. This is a new area in my house that I'm filming. I love it, and I just got to change a lot of things in here to make it more aesthetic, because this is where I'll be doing more videos like this, educational purpose videos like this, when I'm not at the gym. So it's going to be cool to bring you along with me to see this room change within a year, because me and my wife want to get out of Illinois and move to Florida. So, but while we're here, I want to make this room really aesthetic and just cool. Just where you hop on the video, you're watching it, and it's just like a vibe. You just want to stick around and hear what I got to say, no matter what it may be. It's just because of the vibe and the aesthetic. Right now, it's just boring. It's all white in here. So here's some problems that I faced before I started being a coach 7 years ago. So number one was I was looking up workouts and just trying to find workouts on the internet through fitness influencers based on what I wanted to train. Number two, I didn't know to follow a workout for 3 to 4 weeks. I was following a different workout each week, which was killing my progress, and I was plateauing, and I wanted to see more strength gains. I wanted to see lifts get better. I wanted to see results. I wanted to see more muscle gain, and it was just because I wasn't following a program. That's what killed me. I wanted to get better in overhead press. Every time I did an overhead press, military press, and I always felt like I was struggling. I always felt restricted during the movement. I always felt like when I was doing it, arch my back, my lower back, and just to be able to get my hand more stacked above my shoulder. And that's not the proper way to do it. You'll see it in a video right here. This is when I first started training. I didn't get the training that I have now, like the education and understanding mechanics, kinesiology, and all that fun stuff. We don't have to go there, but this is how I used to train right here, and it's pretty wild to look at that. That's where I started, and I don't train like that anymore. And I try to be as efficient and do things correctly with quality over like quantity and weight. I want to make sure I do the movement correctly before I start increasing the load. So that was my problem there. And also I didn't know how to eat based on the goal I wanted to get to. I was always like kind of like a skinnier athletic build growing up, but I wanted to put more size on. I lacked confidence because I felt like I had skinny arms and I just had like a decent chest. So following a program that would help me put on size, understanding on what to eat. These are things that I didn't understand. And to understand like nutrition, I hired a personal trainer. I went to go see a personal trainer. We talked about what I wanted to achieve, and he wrote something down for me right there on how to eat based on my specific goal. And that at the time was to put more muscle on, because I was tired of trying to just guess and to figure things out. That was the best decision I ever made, was to invest in a coach to get help like that. That's what I needed at the time. I was training, I just had a hard time in nutrition. And if that's you, get help. It's okay. You're not stupid or anything. It's actually going to allow you to progress faster. That's what I did, and I'm very thankful for that. It was a learning opportunity. I learned macros, and then from there on, I started falling in love with this even more. So those were my problems. And at the time too, I thought I had to train 5, 6, or 5, 7 days a week. I thought more was better. More was going to get me the results that I wanted. And that's not the case. Everybody's different. Everybody is different based on how they handle stress. If your stress is high all the time, you think you're going to train 5 to 7 days a week, not a chance. If your stress is low, you might have a better shot to train 5 days a week. For me right now, I train 4 days a week. It works perfectly for me right now. This is us getting into the bread and butter of how I overcame those obstacles of not seeing the results that I wanted to see. Here's the things that I've done, and you already heard of it. The first one was, obviously, I got help in nutrition. Then after that, that opened the door to a lot of other things, to understanding nutrition even better. So that helped a lot. It helped me understand how to set up my macros based on if I want to cut or maintain or put on size. That was a big one. And these are things that you need to understand too. If you're struggling, if like the training is not the issue, but the nutrition is, then get help in nutrition. If nutrition is really good, but you're struggling with the training and you need more push with the training, then get help with the training, right? If there's other things outside of nutrition and training, like your sleep, recovery, things are going to allow you to drive up performance, then get help with that, meaning you might need some supplements to help you recover better. That meaning magnesium, maybe something to help with your adrenals, like you're constantly stressed, so we need help with that too. Magnesium will help with that too. It might be a digestive enzyme, so when you take a digestive enzyme, you're able to increase the absorption rate of when you intake these supplements. So that's very important. That's what I would try to understand, is where you're struggling at. I started following a structured workout, meaning how I structure training now as a coach is I would build a program. You'd see it on the screen. We do it for 3 weeks based on how many days a week you're able to lift. For me, it's 4 days a week. This is what we're doing for 3 weeks. And then we undulate. So undulation is going into a different energy system. So I'm giving my body a chance to recover, but also I'm not doing volume 24/7 for these bigger lifts. So it's giving my nervous system a chance to recover faster. And I would undulate into a 3-week phase and do that for another 3 weeks. And then I would do the same thing. So we're talking about a 12-week macro cycle. So for 12 weeks, we got each little blocks. We got block 1, block 2. Block 1, accumulation, intensification. Block 2, accumulation, intensification. If you're confused by that, comment below. But this is how I structure workouts, based on just not your body, but your goal as well. And it's cool because we never see you losing motivation in your training. We never see like a overtraining issue unless your nutrition is just shit. And we got to take a couple of steps back with our training and maybe go down to twice a week, 3 times a week, because your nutrition's here. We got to get your nutrition better. So that's an option too. Now that's just training. That's again, that's how I've overcame the obstacle of plateauing in my lifts. Now let's talk about like listening to your body. Listen to your body, meaning if you're sick or feel like something's coming on, doesn't mean you go train and try to sweat off. No, you're actually doing yourself a disservice there and putting your immune system more at risk. We weaken our immune system when we train. That's normal. It's a stress on the body, so the immune system naturally weakens. We don't want to do that when we're sick, because your immune system is already compromised and it's trying to get rid of a virus, trying to get you healthy again. So when you're sick, don't train. You could do the sauna and try to sweat it out, or just rest. No need to do any type of physical training. That's something that I've learned. When I didn't know this, if I had a cold coming on or whatever, I would train and I would make myself worse. Eventually, I would get like a fever or something like that. The reason I'm telling you this is the more sick you are, the harder it is to hit these goals that you're setting for yourself. The healthier you are, the faster your recovery is, the faster you're going to get to these goals. So you want to make sure that you prioritize sleep always. Make sure you get to bed at a consistent time and wake up at a consistent time so your body could get in a regular sleep cycle. So that's going to help you recover faster. If recovery's off, your training's going to be off. Your training's going to suffer. You want to make sure nutrition and recovery are number one, and then your training. That's where you're going to get the results. So that's where most people fail, is they're not doing those two. They're doing the training, but they're not doing the nutrition, and they're not doing the recovery work. That's going to allow you to come back better and perform better. And here's another thing that I did to help overcome these plateaus, all the stuff that I talked to you about in the beginning. Start tracking your workout. I use Google Sheets. You'll see it on the screen. It's a Google Sheets app. You could start making your workouts on there. And the goal for that is to track each workout session. So first week, you do these exercises and you hit these weights for those exercises. Next week, you want to look at what you did. And you want to try to progress in weights. So bench press last week I did 135, 155, 165, 175. Okay, cool. I did that for 4 sets. Next week I want to try to get more than 175. So maybe first set of next week I'll start at 155 or 160 and then progress. Try to hit 180, 185. So now I progress. The goal is to make sure that you're tracking. You're not tracking your weights. How do you know if you're progressing? And how do you know if you're getting stronger? How do you know if you're getting better at the lift? Most of you fail because you're not doing this. Nobody's talking about this. No fitness influencer is talking about tracking your weights each week, following a plan for 3 to 4 weeks. Usually it's 3 weeks because 3 weeks is a sweet spot. When I train people and I had somebody run a 4th week, usually I see their motivation dip, like they're ready to move on to another program. So I usually train people for a 3-week period because it is a sweet spot and they're ready to progress to something else. Anytime I sit down with a client, I always ask them, what is your long-term goal and what is your short-term goal? Long-term goal could be, I want to get to this weight and I want to look like this. All right, I want to get to 185 pounds. I want to be about 8 to 10% body fat. Cool, that's long-term goal. Short-term goals could be, all right, I want to make sure that I hit 235 in bench press and my overhead press gets to 135 overhead. And those are short-term goals. Or it could be like, short-term goal could be like feeling better with a squat, not having pain during a squat, getting stronger in the squat, getting stronger in the overhead press. I say this because overhead press is a lift that is weak for a lot of people when it comes to pressing. It's the hardest one when it comes to pressing because it's the furthest away from your body. So those are short-term goals. Know these. These are going to help you keep going further when it comes to your training. I'm a big into data when I train my clients. Like I have a file on each and every one of my clients and we were able to mark up where they're at with their lifts. There's like strength ratios I follow. The bench press is the mother lift of upper body, so I follow the other lifts have to try to get as close to the bench press. Like there's percentages I follow, so it allows us to make sure that we're structurally balanced when it comes to pressing in all angles. It's pretty cool. So I have files on every client, and we're able to see how we're doing. Like this is where you started, and this is where you're at now. This is where your squat was 3 months ago, and this is where it is now, and you're feeling a shit ton better. That's the key when it comes to tracking. Google Docs, Google Docs and Google Sheets is what you should be using, and it's free. Download those, start creating a program for yourself, create your workouts for how many days you're trying to go. If you need help with this, comment below, help for creating a workout. and I could try to make a video on it, or if you really are serious about your training, we could hop on a call, just like that. But I want you to try this stuff on your own. Comment below, let me know. I want to try to be at service. I want to help you. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm doing on here, is to help more of you that are struggling with your training, that want to not just reach success with their physique and get shredded and they'll look jacked when they take their shirt off, to feel confident and all that. I want you to feel better with movement. I want to be better with movement. I want to feel better with movement, but I also want to be able to function throughout my day. I'm not huge. I know that. I'm not going to be a Chris Bumstead. I'm not going to be any of those guys, those big guys. I still want to be able to move throughout my day. I've recently just started golfing 3 years ago. And this year, this is the best I've ever felt with my golf swing. So I'm very competitive in that when I'm not lifting. Eventually, I'll probably do another bodybuilding show, men's physique. But I want to be able to move throughout my day. And strength training is so cool. Strength training is to get better at lifts, increasing range of motion, and strengthening the tendon and the ligaments. So we're able to do this for a long period of time. That's the goal. Let's go over the things that I want you to focus on. Remember, track your weights. Every time you lift, you're tracking your weights to make sure that you're progressing forward, okay? And how you're tracking your weights, use Google Sheets. Download the app, make your workout in there, and then each week you're tracking your weights. And the goal is to progress in the weight that you're doing for the movement, or progress in reps. Make sure you're executing the movement properly, okay? And there's another one I want you to focus on. If you really want to know where your calorie intake is, or where your basal metabolic rate is, this is where your body burns calories at rest. So I use this website, stanefferdine.com. You go to BMI calculator, you add in male or female, you add in height, you add in weight, and you add in age, and then it'll come up with your BMI. And then based on your goals, we could use some math, basic math, to see if we need to increase calories, decrease calories based on what your goal is. It's easy. If you need help with that, just comment below. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. So after using the app to track your calories, now let's make sure that if you're training a lot, are you, one, not seeing results? If you're not seeing results, then you got to ask yourself, what are you doing nutrition-wise? Are you making sure that you're eating enough calories? That's usually number one. If we're not seeing the results and we're being consistent in the gym, usually it's not the gym and the workout's fault. It's what we're putting in our body. Are we putting in enough calories to see results, as in dropping body fat or increasing muscle? We have to eat just enough calories to make sure that our body is okay with dropping body fat. Because if we don't eat enough calories, even though we got to be in a caloric deficit, our body is absolutely an amazing machine. It's in survival mode. If you're eating too little of a caloric deficit, where your body's not going to want to get rid of anything, and it's just going to store fat, and you're not going to get the results, because your body's in survival mode and it's just trying to survive. It's not going to get rid of anything. The minute you start increasing just a little bit more calories and you're still in a deficit, your body's going to know, okay, we could survive on this. Let's get rid of what we don't need. We don't need that. That's just wasting our time. So let's get rid of that. That's what being in a caloric deficit, the right amount of caloric deficit, is going to do. Too little is not going to get you the results you want. Performance is going to suffer. We might experience joint pain just because we're eating real low calories. We might experience nausea. We might experience headaches, fatigue. Maybe our sleep is suffering because we're eating so few little calories. And besides, those calories might not be the best calories. They might be empty calories. They might be calories from processed food, high sugary stuff. We're afraid to increase calories because maybe you're afraid to put on weight, and the bad weight. No, it doesn't work like that. Focus on protein. 1 gram per pound of body weight, or 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. Your goal is, if you're 185 pounds, you eat 1 gram per pound of body weight, which is 185 grams. If you want to go 1.2, You multiply that by your current body weight, and that's going to tell you how much more protein you're going to eat, which is you're going to burn body fat, but also add muscle and get a little bit stronger too if you're going to do a 1.2. So I hope you got a lot out of this video. I don't just follow these steps. I have my clients that I work day-to-day basis follow these. I ask them these questions. Where are you struggling at the most? Obviously, you're being consistent with your training. But nutrition, how's your nutrition? I hear it all the time. I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm working on it. So nutrition is the hardest because one, food is around us every day, through our everyday life, meaning social events. If there's a social event, there's going to be food. In most cases, the food's not the best. So we just got to get into better habits and learn on how to eat based on certain occasions in our life. I don't want you to avoid going out and being social and doing the things that you like. You just got to understand on how to eat better when you are out. And maybe if you want to drink alcohol, you got to know how to, I mean, not how to drink, but understand on what to drink versus you don't want to drink this. Like beer, maybe stay away from beer, even though beer is so good. I like beer. But maybe do like vodka soda or tequila soda, something like that. A little bit less calories. Obviously, alcohol is not good for fat loss and muscle gain. But if you want to socialize, that's what I usually do to help me stay a little bit leaner and not put on empty calories that do no good for my body. So that's an option too. When you're going out, always think of grilled protein versus fried. Grilled's way better, not fried. Fried is terrible, usually in some type of oil that's not good for us. Obviously, canola oil, peanut oil. What else? There's so many. Canola, I don't know if I said that, but there's a lot of bullcrap oils that are not seed oils that are not good for us. So it's about, sorry, excuse me, pick my nose. Allergies suck. It's understanding where you're at. I don't want you to avoid going out and doing these things. Sometimes you're going to have to, based on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to step on stage, then yeah, maybe going out and socializing is going to be harder because you got to restrict yourself from foods that are out there that your friends and family are eating. It's not based on your macros. That's a different story. But if you're trying to just get fat, get leaner, lose body fat, then you can enjoy some things here and there. That's not going to kill you. You just jump back on the horse the following day, keep going. You know, that's what I do. Like, I'm not trying to jump on stage right now. So I'm enjoying myself when I go out here and there. I just kind of do it, and I'm modest way. Like, I'm not overdoing it. That's what you got to do. So I hope you got a lot out of this video. It's just more of a kind of like an educational video, and just some things that I wanted to talk about that I use to this day. These are strategies that helped me get out where I was when I first started. I wanted to see these results, so these are strategies that I used to help me get where I'm at right now and to help me get on stage my very first time by myself. Didn't have a coach or nothing. It was just on me, and I thought I did a decent job for doing 12-week prep. So yeah, other than that, I hope you did get a lot of value out of this video. We're going to see a lot more videos like that in this room right here, and hopefully we change the aesthetic of this room. I mean, if you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. So other than that, have a great one. Make sure that you subscribe. I challenge you to get better at that thing that you're struggling with. And I want to hear about it. Comment below. All right. Good night, and stay tuned for the next video.